Boom. Bum ba da dee dum ba da da dum. Zum ba da 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 dee dum dum da dum dum. Oh, ho. Oh, it is good to be back. Hello, travelers of the internet. Welcome back to Guardian Studios. Or if you are new to the channel, hey there and welcome to you. My name is JGardo1 and I am your host, your guide, and your humble bard into the worlds virtual and fantastical, and I am very pleased to welcome you all back to the channel. Or in the case of the newcomers, welcome you fresh to the Guardian Studios experience as we dive back into the world of Galabor, my friends, where we have lots of hard work to do. Ow. Sorry, I was getting a couple of things set up and I bumped into something on my way. Hello. Hey there, Boink. Good to see you, my friend. Been a little while. How you doing? Doing alright? I hope so. Hey, Leo! Leo, buddy, good to see ya. Glad you can make it. Hello, Cal. Goodbye, Cal. Oh, no. Please, no hiccuping. Hey, thank you for the rules, Leo. Always appreciate you doing that, buddy. Alright, let me see here. Grab some of that. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna need to chop up some more of that, aren't I? Well, first things first, let's get this stuff gathered up. Yeah, I knew I had one of these out here somewhere. Let's take this inside so we don't have to keep coming out here all the time. Eventually, we're going to be able to move everything into the Hobbit Hole so that we don't have to keep going outside to get stuff done. But for right now, that's just not how we're going to be able to do. Alright, I want to make a few of these. There we go. Hello, 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 hello. Oh yeah, what's that, Boink? What's that? What's this you want to say? You says you want to say something? What you was wanting to say, huh? Sorry about the weird, speaking. I'm just, I'm in a good mood. So my talking is going a little different. Ouch. Oh man, that sucks. Losing all your progress on anything like that? Ouch. I'm so sorry, Boink. Zim-ba-da-ba-bum-bum. Bum ba da dum bum bang. I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like this either. I like that even less. It is so hard to do a nice fireplace sometimes. Now that's a little bit better right there, I think. Just a little bit. Okay, does this look good to anybody else? Does anybody else think this looks good? Huh. Yeah, that, that tends to be the case with iOS. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Sometimes things like that just seem to be how those applications roll. I don't much like it, but it is how they do it. I just don't know how I want to do this fireplace. It is a very odd thing to do a fireplace in Minecraft. I kinda like it, but I also kinda don't. I feel like part of the problem is that I can't really make it look rounded. Yeah, because we don't have vertical slabs in Minecraft. So what could look more rounded just can't really match up with what you want so well. It's very irritating when stuff like this happens. When you're making something, you know how you want to make it, and then it just doesn't want to come out the way you envisioned. I do think that I like that part, but I don't like that part. I don't know, that just doesn't quite feel right to me, but I think I'm gonna let it go for now, and if I decide later that I need to change it, I'll change it then. Ah, I see. I see, Boink. I'm sorry you're having all this junk happen while you're trying to be able to do your animation stuff. Yeah, iOS apps do, in my experience, seem to favor doing the whole premium version offer thing. I mean, in some cases, it doesn't matter if you get the premium or not. In some cases, though, it does. Personally, I don't know, for the sake of this rough animation or rough animator thing that you're having to use now. But I do hope you're able to figure it out and you're able to recover some of your lost progress. And then you can get the ball rolling on what you're trying to do again. So I can safely say that I don't care for when I'm on a roll with something and then suddenly something throws off the whole shebang. I've had that happen to me before with stuff. It is not a fun feeling. Yeah, it is odd that you don't really hear about people that do animation on stuff like that. No, I have not had a chance to look into it yet. Unfortunately, I am a very, very busy bee at times, and also quite easily distracted when I'm not being a busy working bee getting my channel content out. Sometimes I just get sidetracked and don't get the time. But I am still curious. Actually, now that I think about it, I may have seen a couple of shorts of Peak content. And it was kind of funny. One player picked up some kind of dynamite from the ground after seeing some explode after they had gotten close to it. They picked up another bunch of the TNT, took it over to somebody, and threw it at them. And I don't know if it blew the person up or if it just knocked them off the cliff they were on. But the person fell, the one that got the TNT thrown at them, and they were just shouting up a storm angrily at the one that threw the TNT at them. So, if that's about the average kind of content, that's funny. I don't care for some of the language that was being used to yell at the person that threw the TNT, but at the same time, I can kind of see why they were so mad they were shouting that kind of stuff. Yeah. Games where the focus is climbing up a structure, it is not fun to fall and have to climb all the way back up. I ought to know because I've done that kind of thing with Minecraft structures, both in and out of servers, like on different worlds that I've been on, and in multiplayer with other people, and it is never fun when you have to climb up a structure and there's no kind of checkpoints to make it so you can just climb back up. All kinds of other video games, I've had stuff like that happen. I've had it happen very often in different games where I'm climbing up a structure in the game that you're supposed to get to the top of it for one reason or another, and I get up there only to get tossed or knocked right off and have to climb, grumbling and growling the whole way in my frustration back to the peak because there couldn't be a checkpoint. It is a thing that gets very old when you have to climb all the way up something that you've already climbed once. It gets so very old that it is tantamount of purely tiring to have to do it, but I can definitely see the funny in watching someone get so far. Basically, they live out the song in the end. Climbed so high, got so far, but in the end, it didn't really matter. You still fell down. You still gotta climb all the way back up the peak. You still gotta get back to that chamber to face that boss that it doesn't save when you get them low. The moment they go critical mode on you, you're just done. Oh, I am a gaming person. Don't get me wrong. I am a gaming person. I don't watch any specific gaming most of the time. Like, I usually would watch Minecraft content. Once upon a time, I was watching, like, Hermitcraft a lot. And things like that from the different hermits that I actually watch. And I just got so busy at one point that I didn't keep up with what was happening. And since then, it's just been hard to go back and try to watch any of that kind of content. But the rest of the time, a lot of what's out there for gaming is not the kind of games that I generally like to watch. I would rather be playing in most cases. But yeah, no, do not get me wrong. I am definitely a gaming content enthusiast. I love games. I love gaming. I like watching people play games. But a lot of the time, I end up seeing most of the gaming content that's out there is stuff that, okay, cool, yeah, I'll watch this. And then a little while later, I'm like, oh, this is something I could go get. Okay, now I actually just want to play it. And it just gets tiring to watch people play those games that you want to play, or that you do play, and their play style is often drastically different from yours. You ever have that problem? Where you're watching someone else play a game, and the problem with me is that if I see someone is doing something in a game, and I know a way that it could be done more efficiently, or it just seems like they're playing badly on purpose or something, because I have seen a few videos where it seems like people are doing that, where they're playing the game, but they're playing poorly on purpose for some reason, or it strikes me that way. Yeah, that annoys me. That annoys me. And it gets to the point where I'm just like, dude, the answer was so obvious. Why are you acting like it was not the obvious thing? Like, why are you acting like it's this complicated when it's really not? And I just get tired of it, and I end up not able to sit there and stomach watching it because it's just tiring me out that much. But it's also a matter of I can't sit and watch some people play a game, especially not if it's something where I've already played the part they're playing. I would love to help some people that I know with games, or else just watch them play the game, but I get very antsy. I get very anxious watching them play, seeing them struggle to figure something out, and know that I already know how this part goes. I already know how to beat this boss, or how to get through this puzzle, and I want to jump up and say something. I want to tell them how to do it. But I know that if I do, I'm just going to tick them off. So I have to keep my mouth shut. And that's hard for me to do when I know what I'm talking about. When I know what I'm talking about, it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut. Of course, it's hard for me to keep my mouth shut on something that I don't know about, but I can see a way that it could be done that's more efficient than what I'm seeing being done. You know what I mean? That's just what happens to me. Hello, Craft Patty. Craft, I'm afraid this is a single player world, but you are welcome to stay and hang out in the chat if you would like. We toss around gaming ideas, gaming info, tips, tricks, suggestions, things like that. You are welcome to stay and do all of that. I got no problem with any of that, so long as you can keep your messages in the chat family friendly. If you can manage all that, then I am more than happy to have you around. So, yeah. That's how I am with games and watching people play them sometimes, boink. Now, when watching people play Hermitcraft or Minecraft, where it's survival and they're being building and there's interactions with other people on the world or on the server, that's more interesting and engaging to me. That keeps me going for a good while before I'll ever get bored of it. But it still runs that risk of me getting bored if I lose track of what's happening, or getting frustrated if I see them messing up when I know they are better than that, or something like that. There's just things, and then there's content that sometimes it's fun, but other times, after a while, it's just like, okay, this is getting kind of repetitive. And unfortunately, sometimes it starts to feel that way with some things, and I have to step back, take a break from it. But then when I come back, I've lost all track of what is going on, And I'm just asking that question constantly. What is going on? What are they doing? What am I missing? And then I realized, oh wait, I missed everything. And yeah, it just becomes a big old ball of mess at that point. Hey Ryan, good to see you, man. Glad you can make the stream, buddy. How you doing? You doing alright? I hope you are. I also hope the same for everybody else, both the new people and the returning. I hope everybody is having a good day or night, and I hope everybody enjoys the content. I always hope you guys enjoy the content, for the record. And there's also... There's some games where I would like to see how it plays out for the sake of the story. Or lore or something. And I'll stick around as long as I can, but after a while... I get bored of watching someone else play it. And I would wish that I was the one playing, you know? I often get that way with RPGs, funny enough. Hey, Ellison! Good to see ya. Good to see ya. A creeper build, huh? Nice. Wait a minute. Creeper build. It's not one that'll explode if they try to interact with it, is it? For some reason, I get the vibe that you would do something like that. As like a joke. Alright, cool. Ceiling is in for this chamber. Gotta remake the campfire for the fireplace. I just wanted to use the right wood. I wanted to use specifically spruce for the campfire because I don't want to use any other kind of wood for that. Spruce is the easiest for me to get a lot of. Spruce and dark oak. Oh, I see, Ryan, I see. Please tell me you're going to get some sleep at some point if you haven't already. I'm doing pretty good, though, to answer your question. Oh, crud, I'm running aground again. Pardon me for 1 second, guys. Enjoy the fireplace for a moment. I will be right back. Oh, there we go. Water is refreshed, and I am back. Alright, good, Ryan. You make sure you get some sleep at some point, okay? Don't be letting yourself get worn down from too little sleep, if you can avoid it. That is not a good feeling whatsoever. Oh, crud. I just realized I left my notes over. Hang on. Where did I put them? Notes, notes, notes. There they are. There's my notes. Trying to make myself a Hobbit Hole here, basing it loosely on my own design and on the design of Bag End from the Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit. I'm sure you guys know about that. The Hobbit, the Lord of the Rings, big film franchise, all based off of some books. I hear that some of them are difficult read, which I can definitely say that the Hobbit can be a difficult read. But then again, I did read it like many years ago, so maybe it was just hard for me at the time. I don't know. I'm not sure I want to do all the hallways and such wide, even the long ones. I think I'm gonna make some hallways be wide, some hallways be not. Some entrances and doorways be wide and some be not. I'm not sure exactly. I don't think there's enough room to go that way with the with doing a library. So I'm going to do the library over here. Like I said, loosely basing this on a mix of Bag End and what I've done on previous Hobbit Hole builds. Particularly the first one I ever did that I actually liked. Of course, that one was a 2-story. I bet you didn't think you could have a 2-story Hobbit Hole. But I did. I had one. Yeah, I got you, Ryan. I got you. Yeah, I definitely suggest getting what sleep you can when you can, though, my friend. And you make sure you're getting restful sleep. Yeah, I'm thinking over here I want to do a library kind of thing. Which we can also have double as an enchanting room. So, doubly good reason to set this up as such. I think I'm going to make it so that both of them have a fireplace. I mean, we're already going to have another fireplace because I'm going to have a fireplace in the kitchen. That seems to fit the medieval and Hobbit Hole aesthetics both. Because Hobbit Hole's general theme is very much inspired by medieval and fantasy fiction stuff. So I figure trying to replicate some of that makes sense. And because it's based on that kind of thing, it makes sense for there to be multiple fireplaces. Because, I mean, think about it. In bigger houses, or houses with big families in old times, they probably would have had a lot of fireplaces to keep things warm in the winter. Back in the medieval era. And the Lord of the Rings, the Hobbit, the whole lore and fiction stuff is based heavily in... The style of it all is based in the medieval style in terms of the technology, the aesthetics. Ooh, slept till 4 p.m. And you were... Oh wait, yesterday. We wouldn't have communicated yesterday. Huh. So that seems like quite a while. That seems like it'd be quite late to stay up, my man. It seems like it'd be quite late for you to be sleeping till, I mean. I'm losing track of some of my words here. That's concerning. And I mean very concerning. When I'm losing track of words, it is cause for concern. I don't often do that. Not unless I'm, like, racing through whatever I'm saying. And I haven't really had to do that in a while. You know, race through the things I was trying to say. Oh my gosh. Ryan, that is... Dude. Are you even giving yourself any time to... do... Yikes. That... Well... It feels like I should say that that's... way late to be going to bed for your time, but yeah, I can understand that. I mean, you guys have been dealing with a lot of really warm weather over there, so I can understand it. I can definitely understand. But still, you need to get sleep, man. And I mean actual, real, restful sleep, not just like, oh, nope, I'm up. Not stuff like, not sleep like that. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm one to talk. Here I am. I'm probably gonna be up for a few hours yet after my stream is done. And the stream's probably gonna go on for a couple hours itself. So I guess I'm not really one to talk about being up late. So, yeah. Just, my one bit of advice is make sure you get some sleep, my dude. Let's see here. Based on what was designed for the original deal, let me look at that map. Man, that is... feels so off to me. I'm trying to think, how did I do this build in the past? And actually, I think I would have done it a little different from how I'm doing it now. But how I'm doing it now is still very close to how I would have done it back then. I don't know. See, that's the thing. I'm trying to recreate, in some aspects, what I've done a long time ago. And I'm talking, this was some time back. It was a really, really good build for me. But it was a lot smaller than this. It was smaller than this. The scale was more suitable for just one individual. I'm making this a lot bigger than I made my old build of this kind of thing. My first ever Hobbit Hole build I actually did on Pocket Edition on a tablet. Now, granted, I had a controller that I was using, but still, I did it on a much smaller scale. Really, Ellison? Really? You're blowing stuff of mine up again? Are you kidding me? I tell you guys, this one does not know what it means to leave my villagers and stuff alone. But while some would say get irritated, I say let her have her fun. As long as nobody's being hurt in the process, it's all good, clean, wholesome fun. More or less. Kind of want to have a sitting nook in here. No, I don't. No, I do not. What am I thinking? I'm thinking that because there's not a lot of windows yet, and in the Bag End's design, there's a lot of windows. Like, with how big and grand I want to make this new thing. This new Hobbit Hole feels like it needs to be grander, bigger, better, and I'm trying to capture that as best I can, but it's proving difficult to do comfortably. To be entirely honest with you, it is. But I am nothing if not determined. I know I'm going to be able to get a really good-looking build out of this if I just have enough time. Why is it raining outside? It should not be raining out here. Hello. Well, I might as well chop down some birch trees because I'm going to need birch wood. And I know that I'm running out. Yeah, good night, Boink. Hey, again, thank you for having been here. It was good seeing you. I hope you're able to get your animation stuff going again. Yeah, my original Hobbit Hole design was very simple and small by comparison to what I'm doing, and yet at the same time, I've also got to admit, it was pretty ambitious for me. So I was trying to I made a 2-story, all still in the ground, Hobbit Hole, and I liked it a lot. It was a really good build. But it's in Pocket Edition. I'm trying to recreate some of the same feel here in a grander scale, and it's kind of throwing me off just a little bit. How am I doing? Okay, I've got over a stack. I think we're good for the moment on the birchwood. I think I'll go ahead and let the rest just sit for now. We'll replant later when I actually need to get more. Ah, jeez. Now, this is going to be very different from what I had before. Going back again to look at the notes I took. I got pictures that I took of my old design, and I like what I had. But there's also some details I can't see about what I had before. Like, I'm wondering, did I have windows on this side of some of the rooms, or no? I mean, it would surprise me if I did, but it also wouldn't surprise me at all if I didn't. If I didn't, it wouldn't surprise me. If I did, it wouldn't surprise me. It's complicated. Helm's Deep? What in the world is Helm's Deep? Hello, Adam Hughes, and welcome to the channel. Or welcome back if you're returning. What is Helm's Deep? I can't say that I recognize that term. Helm's Deep. Yeah, I can't say I recognize that. Is that a game reference or a movie reference? What's the deal? Mostly out of curiosity here. Alright, if I place this 2 blocks deep past the wall. So 1, 2, okay. It's a Lord of the Rings? It's a Lord of the Rings thing. Well, in my defense, it has been a while since I've seen any of the movies. And it's the movies that I know. I don't know the books properly. Sometimes wish I did, but I don't. Yeah, if it's got anything to do with the books, I know nothing about it. If it's something from the movies, there's a high chance I may not recognize it, because it has been a long time since I've seen the movies. But it does make sense why you bring it up if it's Lord of the Rings, since I am doing a Hobbit Hole build. I may do some research and see if that'd be viable as something to do a variation of. We may not do a recreation, but I will most likely be willing to do something inspired by something like that, if I feel like I can do it. If I don't feel like I can do it, then I ain't gonna try. I usually try to stick to builds that I know I can do. Or that I know I could do with enough time and patience. Hello, Copper. You know, I didn't realize that I could actually turn on the Copper Golem as a feature of this world. Oh yeah! I found out today that I could actually do that. That there is actually an experimental feature that I could turn on to make it so we'd have the Copper Golem. Huh. Yeah, it's been a while since I've seen the movies. I may have to go back and watch them sometime. I know they're long movies, so that's part of why I haven't done it in a long time. Unfortunately, I do have a very loose, flimsy finicky attention span. Sometimes I can latch on to something and stick to it. Sometimes I have to take a break from it here and there in order to be able to continue enjoying or enduring it. But yeah, I may have to go back and watch the movies again at some point soon, because it has been a while. Not so long for The Hobbit, though. The Hobbit, I've actually very recently sat down and watched the whole series. I think, actually, it may not be that recently. It may have been a couple of months ago, come to think of it. Or maybe just a month? I know it definitely won last week. Sorry, I thought that was a funny thing to say, so... Nah. Take it or leave it. I am definitely gonna have to get some more dark oak wood. We are running low on dark oak in our inventory. Thankfully, I know exactly where to go to get some. We've got some in a chest just outside the Hobbit Hole. Take another glance at this. Pardon me. Hey, welcome back, Ryan. You know, come to think of it, maybe this size room is good for, like, a living room or parlor. I mean, I would rather call it a study myself. Makes me think vaguely of, Clue. All those rooms. Can you imagine an old place like that with so many rooms? I can't imagine what it would be like to live in a place like that. But at the same time, would I want to? Actually, yeah. If I wasn't living alone. If I was living alone, maybe not. But just imagining a place like that. The amount of effort it would take to keep that place up. It would definitely make sense to have a butler. And probably a maid. I don't know. My mind goes to weird places sometimes when I'm trying to think. In case that wasn't already clear. How would I have responded to going live? Or to a comment like that? Probably would have given you assurance that I would be going live at some point. If I hadn't already done all the streams I intended to do, I'd have let you know Hey, good news. I am gonna go live at some point soon, so stick around if you can. If you can't, understandable. But I want to let you know that there was going to be more content for sure. I don't know, I'm half thinking I might be making this room be kitchen and this room be the library. For some reason, I've got this image in my mind of sitting down in kind of a window box sort of thing, in kind of a little open but secluded space that has a big window in it. You guys know the kind of space I'm talking about? It's that kind of place in some houses that it's nice and open. It's part of the room, but it juts out from the room out into open space outside of the house almost, and it's got just enough room for you to lay out or curl up with a good book and just sit there or lay there and just savor some relaxation time, you know? You guys know the kind of thing I'm talking about? I feel like I'd have to have a place like that in order to really be able to enjoy a place of my own. In order to really enjoy a place, I feel like at some point I'd have to have something like that set up. Even if it was just a temporary thing. Having a place like that, to me, just seems to be the perfect thing. Ah, alright, Leo. Hey, you make sure that you're taking care of yourself, my dude. And the same goes to everybody else watching, whether you're watching live or otherwise. Guys, make sure you are taking care of yourselves, okay? I don't care if it means you can't come to the stream. Take care of yourselves. Look out for your own health first. My channel can wait. You don't have to be here for every stream, especially not if you're not feeling good. I just want to make sure everybody understands, I don't have any expectations of people to come to every single stream. And I especially don't want them to feel like they're pressured to do so or like they have to do so for any reason if they're not feeling well. If you ain't feeling well, take care of yourself first. This is part of what I mean when I tell people real life has to come first. You take care of yourself before worrying about my content. My content is going to be here for so long as I continue to make content, which I'm going to do until I can't do it no more. So, please, people, don't ever feel... If anybody ever does feel like this, please don't ever feel like you have to be here for every stream or anything like that, okay? Okay, I just wanted to say that. Just because it popped into my head because of what Leo was saying. But I just want you guys to all to know that I know everybody here who is watching. Whether you're watching live or not, I know everybody's got lives of their own to lead. I do too. So I understand when people can't be here for a session. It's completely fine. You do what you gotta do to take care of your real life first, and then drop in when you're able. It's the beauty of YouTube. What happens on YouTube is going to stay on YouTube, at least for a good long time. So you can always come back later when you're feeling better and catch up with whatever you missed. Or jump straight back into the fray if you're that sore. Believe me, I've known of people that they go real solid, strong, and hard into doing stuff, and then they end up not feeling well for a little while. They have to slow it down. They don't like it, but they know they have to, so they do. But then the next thing you know, they're jumping up as soon as they feel like they're better, and going gung-ho right back into whatever they were doing. It's admirable, but to anybody in the audience who feels like that at times, I advise you, take the time you need to take care of yourself. Again, if my channel ever starts to feel like you have to be there for it, don't let that voice win. You tell that voice that tells you have to be there for my streams, if there ever is one, to shut its mouth, because it doesn't know what it's talking about. JGuard01 knows what he's talking about when he says real life first. Alright? Just want to make sure everybody hears that at least once. I just feel like sometimes that needs to be said. The people need a little reminder. You need to be looking out for yourselves first. So yeah, Leo, I hope you feel better soon, my dude. I really do hope you feel better soon. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. And I'm sorry I went off on a tangent there. I just do feel like sometimes that kind of thing needs to be said. Because I think not enough people say stuff like that these days. So I felt like it needed to be said, at least once. Alright. Now let's focus back in. We've got a lot of work to do. I'm trying to shape this area so that it would make sense for there to be a window here. Because I want some of the rooms of the Hobbit Hole to have some natural sunlight getting in. So, windows are going to have to be a thing in some spots. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you. I think. I think I should say thank you. Alright, I actually need some spruce slabs. I haven't had to use spruce slabs in a little while now. So, this is going to be interesting. But I need them to make part of the outdoor... I need to put a frame over the window, basically. Kind of like I have this, this shape over the door here at the front of the Hobbit Hole. I need to do something similar over here. It's part of my design style with Hobbit Holes. I like to have these arches over the ways, you know? Does that make sense? These arches as part of the window components. I don't know if that really makes a whole lot of sense, but that's something I like to do. Another thing I like to do is actually have make sure that I've got somewhere to put crud I am running out of storage. And I am desperately wishing that the Copper Golem was part of the base game and not an experimental thing. I get nervous about turning on anything experimental with this game, because how do I know it's going to react in a way that's not going to mess something up? I don't want to turn something on and find out later that I can't turn it back off if it wasn't working for me, you know? See, even just something like this can add a nice little bit of detail to a Hobbit Hole build, and I like doing that. See, if I were designing a real-life Hobbit Hole, I would definitely make sure that any room that had a wall facing the outside, that was close enough to the outside that it could work, I would always make sure that it had a window, because you gotta have that natural light. You gotta have natural light. Especially when you're in such a cozy abode that you may never want to go outside again. That I think would be a real danger with living in a Hobbit Hole, if it was that comfortable. You end up in a place. You live in this space that is just so comfortable, so cozy and comfortable and surreal in some ways that you don't really want to have to leave. You don't really want to go out anywhere. You're at home. You're at peace. You're cozy and comfy. You don't want to have to go anywhere at all. Even though you probably know that you probably should. You don't want to, because it's just that cozy, comfy, peaceful. But we all gotta go out and do stuff at some point, right? Especially we as humans. We as humans are social beings. We have to have some level of a social life. Otherwise, it's not good for us to not. It's part of why people who have done challenges where they've been in isolation for a while, real isolation, no actual contact with the outside world, they usually have to be checked over now and then by somebody else to make sure they're not going nutso. And it's why, in a situation where you're all on your own, you grasp at anything you can to keep your mind centered, so to speak. I'm just putting those in there to block up the window for the moment. I don't want anything climbing in through that window and deciding to say, hello! Boom! You know what I mean? That would be the last thing I would want. The last thing I want in Minecraft is for someone to climb in through a window and go, hello! Kaboom! And there's way too many things in Minecraft that would do that. Not necessarily a creeper either. A zombie could decide to wander into my home, walk up behind me and start going, hi, 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 die, 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 chomp, chomp, chomp. You know what I mean? If I let my guard down for too long, something like that is going to happen. So, windows need glass immediately after being made. And I am thinking that this this is going to be the library. That room there, I think, is going to be a kitchen. And we're going to put the dining room next to it. The dining room is probably going to try to punch out through the dirt. Going to try to punch out through the hill as we make it. But I'm going to make sure that I can cover it up with dirt once it is made. Because I think that's how I should have done this. If I was going to expand like this, I shouldn't have expanded that hill first. I should have expanded the house first. And then worried about covering it up with dirt. You know what I mean? I hope you guys know what I mean when I talk about all this. Alright, we need more oak. Do we have any more oak anywhere? Please tell me we do, because if we don't, I'm in trouble. Because that means I gotta stop and go break some oak. Go farm and chop down some oak trees. I don't want to have to do that necessarily, if I can avoid it. Oh yeah! I forgot about that. This is stuff we picked up in the trial chamber, I think. Well, I'm gonna put this stuff in here for the moment, just to get it out of that bag. Chow down on a steak. Please tell me... Okay, we've got more oak. Good. I was worried for a moment. Just for a moment, I was a little worried. Alright, I'm actually going to take a moment of detour from the building. I want to do some animal work real quick. Because we're close to level 30, and a little bit of animal work might push us over that edge into level 30. And if we get to level 30, we can enchant our diamond hoe. Which, believe it or not, a diamond hoe is actually a really useful tool to have. And I'm not just talking for crops. I'm also talking about for breaking leaves and such. Which makes it really valuable for us, because we're going to be farming a lot of wood. We got to make sure that we can do that. So, honestly, I think I am basing my current Hobbit Hole design a lot more on the design that I've seen for the layout of Bag End, the Hobbit Hole from the movies. But, I mean, can I really be blamed when it's the original? It's the OG Hobbit Hole. Without having ever seen it, would we have any idea what a Hobbit Hole design would be like? No. Alright, we are at level 30. And soon gonna have to do a purge of our animals, because we've got way too many cows. And a whole... You know what? Let's go ahead and do that now. Let's just go ahead and do a quick animal purge. A quick purge of the cows and the pigs. We're gonna unleash the hounds, basically. We're gonna unleash the hounds. And we're gonna let them go wild on the animals. Darn it. Sorry, Wolf. Quiet. had looting, I would be using my looting sword, but I don't, so... I don't see any point in using the sword when the wolves can do the job just as efficiently. In fact, I think in a way the wolves are even more efficient for right now. Because we don't have sharpness either. Eventually we'll get another sword, and we'll make sure that it's one that does have those enchantments. I mean, the Smite one is going to get the looting enchantment eventually anyway, but... Alright, that brings us down to 4 adults. That's enough to be good with. I hesitate doing this because... Oh! I just realized I could do... I can just do that, and then it makes some level of... No, I can't. No, I can't. I can't do that. If I do that, then anything could wander into there. Because they'll see that one trap door, and they'll be like, ooh, that's the way in. Once we get the kitchen, I'll have to set up some kind of a super smelter. Not super smelter, super smoker. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Oh. That's on the wrong side. That's better. The trapdoors are basically to make it so I have a way to get in there that only I can use. Alright, so that's the animals taken care of. We got a bunch of leather, we got a boatload of meat. Let's go ahead and stick that in here. And in here. And what's left of the crops that we used, we'll put it in there. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. Boop. Bop. Boop. And a boop. There we go. That should be all our wolves sitting back down again. Let's head back into the house for a minute. Oh! Darn. What the... Okay, I guess we got a third wolf in the house. Alright, so what we're working on... Right. I know what we were working on. We needed oak wood, and then I decided... Let's go ahead and get the levels I need for another enchanting. Well, we got the levels. Let's go ahead and try it. I'm hoping to get Unbreaking and Fortune. Those are the things that I really need. Efficiency would be nice. But I'm mostly worried about Unbreaking! Hey, there we go. What do we get? Nice. Okay. I'll get Fortune later, I guess. But this is good. This is good for breaking down leaves. I can break the leaves of the giant spruce trees mucho fast. Like, supremo mundo rapido. Yeah, I don't know what in the world I'm saying, but I know I'm saying basically fast. And that's what I want. I want to be able to chop down those trees fast and get rid of the leaves quickly. But I would rather have Fortune if I could. Alright. One little tidbit. We're gonna have some bookshelves sunken in, some bookshelves not. And we're gonna have our enchanting table sit right here. So, because I don't like where it is right now, I want to move it. So let's grab... There it is. A tool with silk touch. Hopefully this works on the bookshelves. Because I don't want to have to recraft them. That would be a waste of wood. Sweet. Any silk touch tool will work. But I don't want my enchanting table in the middle of my mining hall anymore. Now, let's take this upstairs. Probably get some glowstone at some point to put underneath this thing. Yeah, that works. And it's fully powered up, I think. I can't test it because I don't have any tool. Oh, wait. I know something that I could check and see if it's working. I've got a trident that I don't plan on using. Wait a minute. Give me that grindstone back. I need to put that in there, too. Let's see. Yep, fully powered up. Sweet. I should get Unbreaking on this trident and combine it with the mending one at the mob grinder, so that we don't lose it. So that we got more time before it would break if we were to pick it up and use it as a weapon. Because you never know, that might happen. That may end up happening, that we may end up picking it up and have to use it to defend ourselves for some reason. You never know. It's entirely possible that that could happen. Okay, yeah, I'm starting to get some vibes like from my old Hobbit Hole again. From my first Hobbit Hole. Which is also reminding me we are going to have to make sure we have some other ways to get out of the Hobbit Hole besides the front door. The front door is great and all, don't get me wrong. But, there's gonna be mobs hanging around one door or the other, and it'd be good to have an alternate exit that gets us away from the monsters. in the event something's lurking outside the front door. I don't want to have to race past it and risk, if it's a creeper, getting blown to smithereens. I've had enough of getting blown up by creepers on this world. I just really don't want to have that happen anymore if I can avoid it. So, technically speaking, library pretty much done. Might cobble together a bench to go over here. Or something to represent a bench. I'll stick this here. Might put a few more bookshelves in here to help sell this as like a little library. Or a small study, maybe. As for the ceiling... We've got the living room pretty much figured out. Just gotta make the make some of the stuff around it. Alright. But for right now, I actually think that will do for this session. I think that's good enough for tonight, everybody. So I'm going to go ahead and say thank you all ever so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. If you did, please be sure to leave likes and comments. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Check out the About page for links to other pages with more content and more ways to support the channel. Share the channel with your friends and think they might enjoy it too. And, of course, do not forget to smack that notification bell so that you don't miss the next stream or video. And with that all being said, thank you once again for watching. I am JGuard01, your guide, bard, and humble host into the worlds virtual and fantastical. And I'll see you all next time right here on Guardian Studios. Bye!